The Bitcoin all-time high, and I have good news. The market went down. Wait a minute. You mean it made a new all-time high and then it went down, and that's good news? Yes, it is. And if you want to know more about it, stick with this video. I'm your host, Bill Noble, and this is the Morning Market Update. Bitcoin hits 125K. Everybody on crypto Twitter has an alert set up. They all fall out of bed to euphorically tweet about the Bitcoin all-time high, to include the president of El Salvador, like screenshotting the El Salvador account on his phone and posting his P&L. I'm like, that's not bullish. Euphoria with a lampshade on your head is not bullish. Now for the good news. The good news. One, Bitcoin was kind of ahead of itself based on our Gann roadmap that's been working like a charm in Patreon Platinum. So the fact that Bitcoin came back down is good because Solana, ETH in particular, and definitely XRP have some catching up to do on the upside to get to where our roadmap says it should be. Also, the good news is that it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. So currently, Zcash is dipping, thank God, because I thought that was going to go to 900 without me being able to buy more. And the great news is coins like Zcash and possibly even Bitcoin may consolidate, chop around. Zcash might go to 120. Bitcoin's probably going to hang around 122 until the full moon. You're going to get some time, right? I mean, that's the joke of the bull market, right? The bear market, winter, consolidation, it's dead and you can't take it anymore. Then it takes off and it leaves without you. So the dip is the pause that refreshes. And you got to take advantage of it. You got to. Right? Because you saw how euphoric everyone gets. Everyone stopped out, and then they flush it lower, and everyone gets stopped out again. Levered traders are still getting hurt in this market. One, because it's trending, and they FOMO in, and it gets dropped. Don't do it. If you want to add leverage, in my opinion, right, you do it when the market's been down for, like, say, more than one day. Then you can get after day 2 or day 3 dip. Then you add leverage, right? When you think you kind of caught the bottom. No, that's easier said than done. But FOMO on the upside overnight, don't do it. Now, the great news is, like I said, you're getting the dip and interest rate cuts are coming. Subprime credit in the United States, meaning like low credit borrowers, just walking away from debt. The consumer is a mess, an absolute mess. Like AI data center build out, construction, gross domestic product, like how much are we building? That kind of stuff is all fine, maybe even too hot. But what is going on in job market, consumer credit? Oh my God, right? Things are so bad out there in the world that you had a shocking election in Japan, right? Where, like, I guess you could call it a dark horse candidate got elected, and they're going to have their first, female prime minister over there. It's coming out of nowhere. Why? Because people are upset. People are worried. Now, for crypto, this is a thing of beauty, right? Chaos lifts crypto. And honestly, I was talking to Eagle King before this. You want to get to the point? Let's get to the point. This market trades like you're going to wake up one day and everything's going to be up 25%. You have a supply shock in Bitcoin. You have a supply shock in Ethereum. Everybody is underestimating the future of money. What do you think Zcash represents? Zcash goes from 40 to 150, and everyone's looking around and no one's interested. And no one's getting that Zcash is behaving the way Bitcoin used to back in the day. 10, 20% ranges, 5% corrections, crazy stuff. This is old-fashioned crypto, right? Market leadership in altcoins is here, and it's the future of money, which is going to bring, Zcash is going to go. I mean, Dash has been going up. I mean, I love Dash, but Dash is not the top end of the future of money. And as is the case in any bull market, the stuff that no one owns, or maybe even the lower quality stuff, rallies first. And then everything else follows. I mean, in every sense, this is classic bull market. And you keep getting surprise after surprise after surprise about asset valuation, right? We already know that NVIDIA is worth more than all of crypto. And you have another valuation shock overnight because the orange man and the administration want to buy a huge stake in a rare earth metal mine in, drum roll, Greenland, where they also have pristine, clear, blue water. More on that soon. The value of hard assets continues to go up, whether it's mergers and acquisitions, whether it's a precious metal trading market. This thing, you buy the dip, and the dips may only last a day. Hey, if you get a 2-day dip, well, that's Christmas. But in a lot of these cases, the dips are going to be intraday, just like Bitcoin, right? Huge euphoric move to 125. Everyone takes profits, right? Back down. And if there's no follow through, then you literally just eat the dip. You just eat it, right? And then you let crypto Twitter settle down. Like crypto Twitter's like, well, the German government shouldn't have sold their Bitcoin, and everyone's got the money supply chart out now. Everyone gets out there. It's like everyone gets out their Sunday best when it makes a new high. Everyone just goes completely crazy. The new high in Bitcoin is a big deal because along with the Zcash rally, it's going to trigger like a 3 to 5x in most altcoins. And I think in mid and small caps, you could be looking at a 10x. And I'm not kidding. Like Patreon, YouTube area, I got some good feedback from my friends in like the antivirus Discord. They're like that last YouTube member stream where we went with Tobie and we took altcoins from the Gann model and we had her do her clairvoyant thing and just pick the winners right there live on the stream. Stuff that we've been looking at. SEI, Aptos, Ondo, Chainlink, right? The basic stuff, right? QNT was on her list a while back. Everybody is misinterpreting what they're seeing on their screen. They're only looking at Bitcoin. I think you have to be looking at Bitcoin. You have to be looking at Zcash. And one of the big ones that Tobie talked about was that ETH was just going to go. Like if you look at the Gann roadmap where ETH is going to be at the end of this month and the end of next month, forget about it. Forget about it. You got to remember, ETH is still at the 2021 high. And other big influencers who I have a huge amount of respect for are out drawing like banana zone fourth quarters. Like back in 2017, there was a banana zone in the fourth quarter where Bitcoin went from 5K to 20K. You don't think that can happen again? Go look at the Zcash chart. It just may not happen in the currencies that everyone owns. They may happen somewhere else. Like where there's one Zcash, there's 50 coins that can go from 40 to 160. Like the whole altcoin universe can do that. And the more and more they spend in this AI race. I mean, I saw the CEO of Goldman come out and say, I think these guys are spending a little bit too much money for no immediate return. Now, I don't know if I agree with that because you're going to have robots walking around your office. You're going to have AI agents doing things by this time next year. So this whole idea that they're going to spend money and not get any value, I don't know about that. I don't know. But they are spending an absurd amount of money. And just remember, when they tell you it's a bubble, if everyone is arguing it's a bubble, it's not a bubble. Right now, they're having that discussion in stocks. And I'm sure if Bitcoin went to 150, someone would say crypto is a bubble. So that's a joke for multiple reasons. One, if everyone says it's a bubble, it's not. You get a bubble when everyone's like, oh my God, it's a new paradigm. It's new math. Like when I went to business school in 2000, they rewrote the finance textbooks to include something that justified NASDAQ valuations at the time. They're like, wow, this thing, the math must have changed. No, it didn't. It didn't, right? It's a new paradigm. Now, when everyone's going, it's a bubble, it's not a bubble. When everybody goes, oh, there's one rally, let me sell, take profits, and get out, wrong. Wrong. Retail always sells the first uptick. It is absolutely not the right trade. Now, let's talk about what is the right trade. You did have some euphoric new highs in things like Zcash and Bitcoin. Fine. Most of the time, some of the momentum indicators like stochastics or RSIs and things like that did not make new highs. No problem. So that kind of little bearish divergence, you could smack the market up or have it stall for like anywhere from 4 to 12 hours. This is like using intraday charts. And if you get lucky, you get a 24-hour dip, which is perfect. It's perfect. You have to think quick on dips. 3, 4, 24 hours. And I don't know if the market's in a position for a 48-hour dip, only because ETH, XRP, and Solana just look like they want to explode. It felt like Bitcoin went to 125, and other than stopping out the levered margin babies, people just simply rotated into other coins that, are basically bid only. Solana is having like kind of a logical dip right now. Again, that marginal new high that they made this morning up at 236. Wonderful. Great. Wow. Do you think we get lucky and get a dip to 220? I don't know. I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I don't. And again, back to the negative divergence thing. This is with all altcoins. If you see something on a chart, be like, yeah, this should go down for 3 days, and it doesn't, what's it going to do? And what do I always say? It's going to go straight up, literally straight up, because rates got to come down. The dollar's got to come down. The government's going to be shut down for at least 60 days, I think. Now, I mean, I can't even believe I questioned whether that was going to happen, right? They want rate cuts and they want less government, right? It's kind of like getting payback against the deep state. It's like, okay, we're just going to cut you down. And we want rates lower. So Powell's not listening to us. So we'll give Powell something to think about, right? If Powell was all wound up about tariffs, that turned out to be a nothing burger. And Powell didn't say anything about the government shutdown. So he is unquestionably going to have to cut rates. And if there's a subprime credit banking system problem, you will get your answer as to why crypto is up only. See, everyone in crypto doesn't care about why it's up only because their bags are going up. But if you actually stop to think about, hey, why is this happening? Oh, okay. Well, then you can get the idea of, Bitcoin going to 140, ETH on our roadmap should be well above 5,000. Now, when you have to check the roadmap out in Patreon Platinum, but the roadmap's working perfectly. Bitcoin was ahead of itself, and the other big altcoins, they're not moving fast enough, right? Like you have this big correction in Bitcoin this morning, and coins that we like, Render up 3%, Chainlink up 3%. This is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Like there's no trading desks open. This is how short hedge funds are, short or under invested. Arweave, the technology bid in crypto, is back. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. We've been screaming about this in the YouTube member area for an extended period of time. Near's up 3%. Now I'm sitting Aptos, Tobie's favorite. Like I'm giving you that for free. Our dark horse pick. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on this in the YouTube member area and Patreon. Aptos, right? Venture capital funding, right? It's kind of like, Solana was backed by big VCs. It feels like Aptos is the same way. Fast layer 1 up 7%. No one owns it. No one talks about it. People are probably long SUI, which is logical. But what's going up here? What no one owns and what no one likes and what no one understands. I mean, in the history of bull markets, these things never fail, right? You have real world asset lenders like checks up 5%. In other words, look, you're probably out there going, you know what? I don't know anything about markets. I can't figure crypto out. I don't know how to do this. I mean, I don't know, man. You could be sitting on a park bench in some far off land and you're like, I can't do this. I'm like, you know what, man? Actually, you can. If you can go somewhere like CoinGecko or whatever and build a watch list and see what's moving up when Bitcoin corrects, you have your answer. I learned that from Crypto Dog, right? And Tobie does it too. What's up when everything else is down or there's a Bitcoin correction? Arrow is still up 4%, which is how you know that when ETH goes, it's going to go. Like normally Arrow gets smacked around. When there's a correction, it holds like a champ. Pengu is up 8%, right? That whole base ETH universe, dude, do not fade this. And you know what? Of the base universe, I'm calling it up now. I know there's a lot of fans of Ski Mask Dog. People are still upset. Like everyone's like, oh, it's a bull market. It's going to the moon. No, dude, some stuff hasn't moved at all, right? Ski Mask is at $36 million market cap. Like, I don't know whether this meme coin has any juice left or not because there are so many bag holders, but a 36 million market cap coin is juicy if it has a value proposition. This is the other thing about Zcash, going back to that. If you have, they have a hot wallet that works. Privacy, it's not automatic, but, if both people have the updated version of their hot wallet, it's private. It's nice. Okay. So if you have a decent fundamental story and one catalyst, you get a 3X. How many other 3Xs are out there? A lot. I mean, Ski's at 36 million. I don't think Ski's going to 3X, but you can find things out there that might. And money is starting to flood into the bigger coins like Pengu because hedge funds are not fully invested. Hedge funds got caught sleeping. Now, you know that because they're going after all of the liquid stuff, right? That's why Chainlink is up 3% with Bitcoin down, right? Now, it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. Now, just flip the thing around, right? If you can buy a dip, it's a bull market, right? And if it's a bull market, you better make sure you're long enough, okay? Question, some coins are up 3 to 5%. Does that mean they were down or are they continuing to go up more today? Okay, Trade Intuition, good question. Yes, they're up for the trading day. So they're the coins I'm talking about, I'm reading off TradingView. Some of these coins are up anywhere from 3% to 6% for Aptos, which is good considering Bitcoin just did this wick up and wick back down again. Like the altcoin universe is continuing to push on, which is, to me, absurdly bullish. Like what? I'm the only guy who's been in markets for a while who knows this. You don't even have to be in markets for a while. You just have to see, oh, well, what's green when everything else is red or going sideways? And a lot of times these smaller coins, Chainlink is not a smaller coin, right? But these things can be leading indicators for monsters like ETH. And there's one thing that people forget about in Ethereum. They forget that what happens when ETH really moves. ETH just went from 2,000 to 4,000. Now everybody's assuming it can't go from 4,000 to 6,000. Guess what? It can. Guys like Altcoin Daily were talking about 2013, 2017, and 2021. 2017 was vertical for Bitcoin. Vertical. 2021 was vertical for ETH. Now, ETH could go vertical again, or it could happen somewhere else. Like Zcash is telling you, to find the next Zcash, to find it. And now it wasn't hard to find Zcash because Zcash was going up 10% every day, and then it was gone. If you see that again, if you see some kind of altcoin building up to critical mass, it's like, 3%, 10%, 20%, boom. Don't be fooled by the percentage game is another great Zcash lesson. You go back to Solana in 2023, Solana was at like $15. So if Solana was at $15 and it went to $40, you'd be like, whoa, I don't know, that's like, that's like 150%, right? Or 200%. I don't know if I can buy that. That's up a lot. Yeah. And then it went to 120 and everyone went to 80 and everyone's like, take profits. Then it went to 120. Then everybody was like, okay, let's buy it. Then it dipped. Everyone thought it was over. And then it went to 200. So at 40, everyone was like, I can't buy it. But at 200, it was much more attractive. Now, of course, Solana had the ongoing meme story to drive that narrative. I get it. But there are 180 countries pursuing central bank digital currencies, and some sort of AI breakthrough is coming, and you're going to want privacy. So I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how Zcash got included in the cross-chain Thor swap universe, because that's why it moved. I don't know how Zcash got there, and I don't care. I don't care. What is the next Zcash, right? What coin, and I'm going to look for it right now with like 3 minutes to go, right? What coin is moving in 5 to 10% increments when everything else is down? If you find that, right? Like I see XTZ, Tezos up 5%. Who's long Tezos? It's the Dino coins. The Dino coins are moving. Can you believe it? Right? Moonwell from the base universe moving. ZBCN, right? It's like, are you taking notes? Take notes. Write these things down. It's that simple. Like you didn't have a portfolio? Well, you do now. You just find out what the hedge funds are after. It's kind of like the morning lesson. Let's see who we got on here. We got Bull Runner. Me and the Eagle King, like we press the button to create the stream and Bull Runner jumps on it. God bless him, man. Tyler Hall from the Antivirus Universe. Rave Song Records. What a weekend. Dude, it's not over yet. Wait till these guys come in Asia time. And you're like, oh no. Is this whole market going to go Zcash? Seriously. And they might come after Zcash too if Zcash dips to like 130. Like if you see a dip in Zcash and Zcash holds, XRP is going to follow Zcash. Seriously, XRP, Zcash goes down, that dip holds, they buy that dip, the Zcash will go and XRP will go to $4. But I know. Rich God is here. Dude Word, Ben from Down Under. Nola Fan, a member. Welcome, sir. NA, RNR. Eric's Random Clips. Good morning from New Jersey. Good morning. Right? Tyler Hall is like, beware the quantum bubble. Right? Protagonist, IOTA, Algorand. Yes. We like Caspa as well. He's got different coins on his list. M. Woodsy. He's got, look, HBAR, XRP, XLM, SUI, and Fartcoin. And you know what? The Gann model agrees. Not HBAR, but all those other coins are either Gann model or Tobie approved. This is not complicated. This is the beauty of a bull market. Now, it's been complicated up until now because some sectors would pop off and then everything else would go back down, and that's annoying. And you still will have sectors moving one at a time, except instead of like everything one sector go up and everything else go down, it'll be like 10x moonshots and then the rest of the market following. So I get it. Okay. Trade Intuition wants to know which one would go next. Dude, it's there on the screen. It is. Zcash was on the screen, right? I couldn't get the deep dives and all stuff out fast enough. right? Will J is into Excel. Sayer Smith is when Cardano pump. Very interesting point you bring up there, sir. If you said what coin, has a retail following, what coin is a Dino coin and hasn't gone up yet? What happens if Charles Hotchkiss pulls a rabbit out of the hat and Cardano actually becomes useful? Because that is the problem with Cardano, right? It's been around long enough. It should have a use. Zcash was the same way. So in no way, shape, or form would I be giving up on any of these cryptos at this time. Now, if someone's asking when Cardano, you're in a bull market because you're irritated because your coin isn't moving. And that's the trick. They irritate you, you get frustrated, and then you get out. And then 20 seconds after you get out, not you, this has happened to me, 20 seconds after you get out, it goes. It goes. And I really, really do not want that to happen to you. All right. Because again, Altcoin Daily was like 99% of the people don't know like what happened with these big crypto historical moves. Now, they're probably right about that. That's a very catchy headline because not everyone's been around for every cycle like they have. I haven't been around for everyone. But in this particular case, my argument is 100% of the people know that this thing is going up, right? If you've been to Costco, if you've been to the grocery store, I saw something that beef has gone up another 12% because somebody got the great idea to shrink the U.S. beef herds. I mean, America without beef. I know whose idea that was, but we won't talk about it. We won't talk about it. Crypto is the only way out of this, and everybody knows it. The only issue is, can you be patient enough and can you be long enough? Like, it's one thing to be patient. It's another thing to be patient and then just keep accumulating as much as you can, almost to the point where you're uncomfortable. Almost to the point where you're uncomfortable. And I know that's scary, especially after the market's traded like dog, for 10 months. Okay. Reuters is just now reporting that, the dollar is taking it on the chin. I mean, do you need an economics degree to know that if a government cannot keep itself open, that the currency is no bueno? I mean, I appreciate you watching the show. Thank you for watching the show. But you don't need to watch the show to know that, because somewhere internally, you already know it. So on one hand, Altcoin Daily is right. 99% of the people don't know about 2013. On the other hand, I'm right. 100% of the people know that we need a different form of money. And that is in progress as we speak. That is happening. And the dip that you wanted last week, you're getting in the middle of the night or early on Sunday when, no sane person is up live streaming except me and the Eagle King, which is a good time to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Live all day, videos, YouTube member deep dive on Zcash just came out. Hit the subscribe button. It's the thing that you can do for the channel that costs no money. Naturally, we would love to have you be a consumer of our research in YouTube or Patreon, but the like button and the subscribe button help us so I can pop up on your phone on the shorts feed. So you can wake up and be like, okay, what's going on here is the market update. Nola fan, a big fan. I appreciate that, sir. Raising the bar. Well, it will still be cheap in December. Sir, you are so right. Because if Bitcoin is not at 200K in December, it's still cheap and it can still go up. It can still go up. And who knows? Maybe the banana zone is like the last 2 weeks of the year. Maybe they're just going to wait us all out. I mean, it's going to go up. But the real banana zone, our Gann model shows that there's a 25% chance of total upside insanity. That's actually a pretty big number when you're talking about like outlandish upside targets like ETH at 8K. A 25% chance of that. I mean, do you have a 25% chance of winning the lottery? No. Do you have a 25% chance in Vegas? No. Your chances of winning in the fourth quarter of this year, even if you got to like hang on for dear life or sit there and wait for it to happen, a 25% chance of a massive, insane rally, and probably a much higher chance that the market just does a plain old good old fashioned crypto rip higher over a couple of months. Like I said, 99% of the people don't know what happened in 2017 and 2013. 100% of the people are shopping at Costco and they know we need a different form of money and this market is going up. So Daniel J at the Zurich airport, Art on holiday in Bali, our customers making money. That's the market update for today. We will see you tomorrow.